This is a motorbike. Yeah, weird, I know, but don't adjust your browser. Specifically, it's the BMW F900 XR. It's what they call an adventure sport, which means it's the kind of bike you can ride every single day while having quite a good time on it. Think of it as like a hot hatch, but with two wheels missing. You can ride it every single day while avoiding people on public transport with the COVID, and you'll enjoy it. Ideal commuter bike, this one, potentially. It's quite an attractive bike, this. Normally I'm into my sports bikes, but you can't ride a sports bike every single day because you would go to jail. And when I saw this in the flesh, I was actually quite impressed by it. There are two versions available. There's the A2, which makes 48 horsepower and is designed for people with an A2 license. That costs £9,800. And this is the TE, which costs £10,500. But this isn't the standard bike. It also comes with the Sport Styling package, which consists of this very fetching racing red fairing, granite grey tank, black rims, gold fixed fork tubes, and a sports windscreen, which is 20 millimeters lower than the standard windscreen. But don't worry, because it actually adjusts on the fly. Very clever. All right, let's see how she rides. 895cc parallel twin, 105 horsepower, but it's built for comfort rather than speed. The seat height is 895 millimeters, and that works out pretty good for me. I'm 5'11", my feet can touch the floor pretty easily, and it's pretty comfortable as well. If you're a bit shorter, you can actually drop the height with a lower seat and a lower suspension setup to around 775 millimeters. So I don't imagine you'll have any problem fitting on this thing regardless of your height. It's got quite an upright riding position as well, which is fairly easy on your back, so it's a good bike for long distance riding. I rode this actually 2 hours to get to our filming location today, and I got here feeling pretty fresh. The adjustable windscreen, I've got to say, is not that effective really. You actually feel more buffeting when you raise it up, but where it does get useful is if you tuck yourself right down behind it, then it can deflect quite a bit of wind away from your body, away from your head, and take that chill away. But when you're sitting upright, all it seems to really do is divert the icy cold wind directly into your chest and head. One thing I'm not a big fan of is the clutch. It feels really snatchy. When you're pulling away, it's really easy to stall this bike or to have it try and lurch away from underneath you. You've really got to be extremely gentle on the clutch, which is especially hard to do when your hands are a bit on the cold side. If you're a new rider, then that might become quite annoying. Speaking of the cold, my hands are actually quite well protected. That's the good thing about this bike. It has this really useful set of wind deflectors on the handlebars, which divert air away from your fingers. And it comes with heated grips, which is essential if you're commuting in Britain, trust me. On the upside, once you're moving, you don't actually need to use the clutch at all really, because the bike has a quick shifter. You just bang on the left pedal up or down and it will change gear without you having to faff around with a gear lever. Now, because this is a BMW, I shouldn't have to tell you that it is literally teeming with features. First and foremost, these bikes come with this fantastic dashboard, which BMW do so well. It communicates the information so nicely. The interface is so simple to use, and it's able to actually talk to a compatible Bluetooth helmet. So it can play music, phone calls, and nav directions directly into your ears. The way you control it is brilliant too. It uses this multi-controller on the left handlebar, which you twist up and down and left and right to select exactly what option you want. Really clever and easy to operate on the fly. The bike also has keyless entry, so you don't have to faff around putting a key in the ignition. You just need to have this on your person, push the button, and off you go. Plus it has preparation for a sat nav, and this one actually includes the BMW Navigator 6, which is nice and simple to install. It takes about half a second to click directly onto the bike. It's not the best sat nav in the world, and it's massively overestimated the time it would take to get me to my destination today, but I don't need to tell any bikers out there how useful it is to have a nav directly fitted onto the bike. The F900 XR also has cruise control, adaptive lights that illuminate corners depending on your angle of lean, as well as the quick shifter I mentioned earlier, and intelligent emergency calling, which means if you fall off the bike will sense that you've had an accident and then call BMW. They'll then try and work out whether you're still alive by speaking to you, or if you say help me long enough, help me, they'll send an ambulance out to come and scoop you up off the ground. Very cool feature. A lot of new cars, in fact all new cars have this built in, so it's great to see that a bike actually has intelligent emergency calling built in. Well done, BMW. Right, so the last thing I should probably try and tackle is it fun to ride? I mean, it's meant for commuting on, but of course you've got to have some fun on these things as well, don't you? And honestly, this is brilliant fun. Part of the fun comes from it being so hassle-free. You don't need to faff around with the key. It just starts up. It's got the sat nav, so you don't have to worry about studying a map before you hop on or worry about getting lost. It's a really accessible bike to ride. And it's quick as well. The engine makes 105 brake horsepower, which isn't crazy power, admittedly, but it takes off really well from lower revs in first and second gear. It does kind of run out of power and torque as you go up the rev range and into the higher gears, but there's plenty in there to entertain yourself and to get yourself out of trouble and to overtake. Plus, it sounds pretty decent as well. The brakes are strong. There's all the safety tech you'd expect from a modern BMW bike, ABS, cornering ABS, the lot. It's just a really solid all-round bike. Calling it the hot hatch of bikes might be a bit strong, but where bikes are concerned, this thing has got a really good blend of practicality, performance, and all-round usability that makes it really easy to recommend. If you're looking for a good, usable two-wheeled machine that you can use and enjoy every single day, then the F900 XR is well worth a look.